Giorno, buon pomeriggio e buona sera a tutti. Questo è Dylan from Tucson Future Classics. And that is our 2018 Fiat 500e. Who's ready to take a long walk around a short car? These Fiat 500s are super fun little city commuters. And this particular one came to us with 60,000 miles on it. It's a two-owner car, originally being sold out of an Alfa Romeo dealership in Southern California before finding its way to Vegas and then to us. Now, full disclosure, in true Italian fashion, when this car came to us, it had had a bit of an altercation with a parking pole over what does and does not constitute a parking space. So it got a new left front fender, a new headlight, a new shot of Fiat creamsicle orange paint, and we also sorted out a passenger side window regulator. But once we got that dialed in and set up, this was really easy to clean up, and it absolutely rips. It's a blast to drive, so I can't wait to show you that when we get in this thing. But these 500Es have got about 110 horsepower, 150 foot-pounds of torque, which is instant because it's an electric car. It's an electric vehicle that weighs less than 3,000 pounds. It's one of the lightest ones out there. It is super duper nimble, and a 24 kilowatt hour battery gives this thing an EPA estimated 84 miles of range. I personally would estimate about 75 miles, being here in the desert and needing a lot of air conditioning. But if you want to listen to the stereotypically Italian optimistic dashboard, it thinks it can get over 90 at 100% charge, so do with that information what you will. They're super nimble, so if you want to drive like a menace, like a true Southern Italian would, you can. And I intend to show you that when we get this thing out for a rip. So let's do that. Let's get in the car, out for a rip, and have some fun. Not a lot to see under the hood of the 500 because there's not a lot you can really interact with. You as a driver have to worry about your two coolant reservoirs here for the motor, drive unit, battery pack, and inverter. Your windshield washer fluid is hiding right down there. And then over here, you've got your brake fluid reservoir there and a couple of fuses there. It's an EV. It's that simple. Climbing into the back of the Fiat 500 here, push up an electronic release, and up it comes. It's a tall but small storage area back here. You've got, cool thing to note, this is a false floor. So underneath this, you've got a little storage area complete with all of my detailing rags and junk. But this here is the Fiat factory 110, 120 volt regular wall plug level 1 charger. So think 4 hours for fully charged with 240, and for 110, 3 to 4 miles per hour, giving you about 40 miles of range in your normal overnight charge. One thing of note, these seats do fold completely flat to make a nice level load bed. Big dude test. We're getting in the back seat of the Fiat. So, easiest way is come to the passenger side, pull this lever, seat folds and slides. Step yourself on in. Now, this being the electric variant, the floor is raised a little bit to make room for that battery pack, but there is a reasonable amount of space for a small coupe back here. This cutout does fit your arm quite nicely. You've got two big speakers, one on the driver's side and on the passenger side, to rattle your teeth out back here, and you do get child seat anchors down on the bottom of both back seats. I'm going to turn this thing around real quick. You'll see I'm big, I'm sweaty, but with those headrests all the way up or removed entirely, you actually have a decent amount of headroom back here because of the lean of the seat. Your arm fits perfectly in that little pocket, and even gut room is good. Knees, well, you're straddling the seat. But I have personally spent about an hour riding in the back of one of these, about 50 miles, and it's not the worst place I've ever been. If you're a big dude and you've ever ridden in the back of a fastback Mustang or a Toyota Celica, you'll know exactly what I mean by that. But yeah, place for the kids. You can put some friends back here. It's a lot of usable space in a very small package. Down to the controls in the Fiat 500, and a note to any potential bigger guys that want this little car. These are designed to have you sit up and forward a little bit more than you're used to, so this ratchets the seat up and down to help you dial everything in. It's got a pretty good sized door pocket there, which I've just managed to get my big Yeti water bottle in, and your power mirror controls are there. These things are old school. You get yourself a blade key. So pop it in there, spin it all the way forward, and that goes from not ready to ready. AC is going to spool up. Actually, if I turn it to auto, it's probably going to scream away at me. So we'll just turn that blower motor down a little bit. And let's get into the controls here. So as I said, the seat ratchets up and down. The steering wheel tilts and telescopes as well. Interesting to note, the doors lock by pushing forward when you're driving. That'll lock them out, and then you pull again to open. Same thing. If I move the driver's side, the passenger side will follow suit. So kind of a neat little styling choice and a good way to combine as many features into one thing as possible. Steering wheel here, super duper simple. Answer and hang up phone calls, mute or voice commands there. This side are just your regular old cruise control controls. Now, this being a Fiat and a Chrysler product, behind the wheel, there are two little buttons that you can rock with your fingers. One of them on the left will change track or change your station tune. The one on the right here will control your volume up and down, and a middle button will change your source. So I can now go between AM, FM, XM, or Bluetooth. Speaking of which, I'll show you the gauges really quick. Super simple and really easy to see. You've got your battery state of charge on the right, a little gauge showing if you're operating economically or using power on the left. It also shows your regen braking. And then with a little button here, this will go through your menus: real-time motor power usage, your trip computers, tire pressures, or just a cool picture of a little Cinquecento there in the middle. The infotainment here is small, but it's really, really well set up. This is a small version of Chrysler's Uconnect. So radio will give you AM, FM, or XM. Media will give you either auxiliary, USB line in, or Bluetooth. Nav opens up a full GPS powered by TomTom, because the first generation of these had a stick-on unit that popped into the dashboard, a little freestanding TomTom pod. For these, they integrated it all into the Fiat premium sound system. And there's your regular Bluetooth phone integration. More just gives you a couple things, like being able to set a charging schedule to optimize on-peak versus off-peak charging hours, a compass, which is a compass, and then your trip computer and a clock. It also shows the outside temperature, which is quite warm. So I'm going to bump that HVAC up just a little bit. Moving down just before we get to the HVAC, traction control off is here, hazard lights are here, and this is your rear window defrosters. Climate controls are here, super duper simple. How hot you want it, how hard you want it, and where you want it, there and there. This also has heated seats and your fog light controls. Your window switches are right down here, driver and passenger, and this is your Prindle. Park, reverse, neutral, and drive. About as simple as you can get it. Push the button you want and go that way. Down below, you have my bevy of cell phones stuck into 2 of the 4 cup holders here. You also have a key-on ignition cigarette lighter charge port right there. Moving on, manual handbrake, very good for doing skids. 2 armrests, 1 for each seat, but you can comfortably steal them both if you're the driver. And back there for the back seats, there are 2 additional cup holders facing them. So 1 cup per person if you have this thing filled up. Glove box is actually pretty darn deep. You have a USB charge only port in there, a fast charge USB-A, and the original Fiat manuals are hiding in there. Panning this thing up, auto dimming rearview mirror, map lights, and this controls your sunroof. Fiat did just a little rolling screen on it, but if you push up, it'll pop. My voice broke there, I guess I'm pubescent again. If you push it again, boom, it slides all the way back. And believe it or not, that sunroof opening up ventilates this thing and pulls stale air out really, really quickly. But that's kind of all we've got going on in here. Let's get driving. Heading down out of the parking garage, I have got every window and the sunroof wide open. So if there are going to be any undue noises as we head into the structure and we'll hear everything echo, we're going to find them together. But honestly, it's an EV. It's got, you know, short wheelbase, super duper nimble little thing, and it's pretty quiet. I mean, unless you want to absolutely chirp the tires, which this thing will do a great job of, especially on concrete, even with the traction control turned on. Again, these are super lively and fun little EVs. I mean, you're not going to take it on a 1,000-mile road trip, but for ripping 30 miles across town or cutting through traffic in a big hurry, you kind of can't beat these things. Also, like, most of the normal space constraints you would have to worry about in a standard car don't really apply to the little Cinquecento. You can slalom all of the parking pylons. It's pretty darn fun. And let's just say we're gonna back in next to that pole there, right? Well, little screen, but a pretty good resolution backup camera when it wants to play nicely with my phone. And it even gives you predictive course lines. And thanks to those little backup the little backup sensors, the sonars on the back bumper of this, it should theoretically have enough to pick up. Yeah, hear it beeping? It even picks up the little cable parking stays behind us. So it's a, you know, pretty competent thing. And with that wide angle mirror on the driver's side to complement you, it's pretty hard to back into stuff the wrong way in this. Now, getting on the highway, it's fun to know that this little Cinquecento has no sport mode, no eco mode, none of that. Your right foot is all the driving modes you get. So you get to pick whether you're eco or sporty. And sometimes to get across town at a commute, you need to get on the highway. And all of our highways out here are high-speed interstates. So let's see how this little thing feels at high speed on a interstate. Let's give you the worst case scenario for noise here, right? This is not designed to do this. It's designed to rip around the city like quick and spicy. But if you needed to, that is cruise control set at 80 miles an hour. Just humming right along. Minimal wind noise, minimal buffeting. It's a, you know, for a small short wheelbase car, it's a very competent place to be. And when you're not driving with, shall we say, emozione, it settles in nicely. Like, these are great little commuters, super fun around town, and they can absolutely handle a highway blast if you need them to. Staged up here at the end of one of my favorite, mostly abandoned, mostly dead-end roads here in Tucson. We're going to do a quick 0 to 40 to 0 to show you all that there is nothing hiding in the braking or the suspension system of this vehicle, while we stress test under full accelerative and decelerative load. Plus, this is just fun for me. So we're going to go traction control off. Again, no sport modes, just drive, but your right foot does all that work. And let's see if we can't make these tires fight for traction. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, it dug nice. These new Westlakes are good. Oh, shit, 45. ABS. Yeah, there we go. ABS right to a stop. Straight, true, and smooth. As we're sitting here behind another fun-shaped EV, figured I'd show off that Fiat premium sound with some Italian trap. Yeah, it's literally shaking my big dumb hat down there on the floor, which just once again goes to prove that if you put enough speakers in a small enough space, it will absolutely bump. Okay, amici, back at the lot wrapping everything up on our 2018 Fiat 500e. To sum it all up, it's a small car that is big fun. It's got a great bump and sound system. The front two seats are super comfortable, even for people as big, if not bigger than myself. It is nimble, it is torquey, it is quick, it is fun to drive. These cars can be driven in anger wonderfully, but it's very hard to drive one grumpy. It's a small city hatchback, but with a little bit of emozione. So, to see what I am on about, why I like these little things so much, and why I think they've got so much personality and so much fun, follow the link in the description below, or call or text the number that is about to be on screen to make an appointment to see this for yourself. Until then, ciao ragazzi.